This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports, powered by the Union Banner at Union Banner on Facebook. Your sports teams, your community, your radio station. Presents Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin Sports is powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. 12 Oaks Vineyard in rural Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers, with locations in Breeze and Highland, and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin Sports. We're kind of back to normal again. We're in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on this Wednesday, and here what's on the big board this evening. We'll talk with McKendree basketball coach, the women's coach, Carrie Kirkhoff. Her Bearcats are having a tremendous season. And later on, it's all for football, mainly on the college ledger with Carlisle native Plano Reapers coach Brad Coons. Plus, as always, on a Wednesday, we have the Metals Screen Printing and Signs Sports Flashback. It features basketballs, the one of a kind, that's for sure, Jeff Carling. But right now, we deal some scores and stuff, which is brought to you by Isaac Auto Body. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. We'll start with college football. We'll go over this stuff in detail with Brad Coons at a later time tonight, but the college football playoff championship game is all set. It's Alabama and Clemson headed for another rematch. The Crimson Tide knocked off the Oklahoma Sooners in the Orange Bowl 45-34, and the Tigers beat Notre Dame to a pulp in the cut. Well, they did 30-3. Yes, the Irish lost. So that's coming up next Monday night. Two was pretty marvelous for Bama. 318 yards and 4 touchdowns was the highlight of his stat sheet. And how about that freshman? He's a sophomore, at least by now, of course. Trevor Lawrence for Clemson. 27 of 39 passing, 327 yards. He threw for 3 scores. A lot of talent between those two young men. There was more college football yesterday, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's, as far as I'm concerned, mainly for entertainment purposes. I mean, for instance, Texas, they won. Who are they going to play next? Nobody. It doesn't. It matters to them. I get all that. But anyway, Texas did carve up Georgia 28-21. That was in the sugar. At the Citrus in Orlando, Kentucky edged Penn State 27-24. To the Outback we go for Iowa over Mississippi State 27-22. LSU. Oh no, they stopped Central Florida's 25-game winning streak. 40-32 is the final. That was in the Fiesta, and out on the left coast in the Rose Bowl, Urban Meyer said goodbye for a while. Ohio State, his Buckeyes clipped UW 28-23. He'll be back. You know he'll be back, right? Tell you what, 83-9 at Ohio State, a national championship, 3 Big Ten crowns, this Rose Bowl victory. He's had the health issue, and the health issues are for real, a cyst in the brain, causing headaches and all. But 2 or 3 years, he may be back with the Buckeyes if this new coach fails. We'll see. Mizzou. Oh, poor Mizzou. They got within inches, at least within a yard. I guess within inches, really. There was a minute left, 65 seconds to be exact. Drew Lock, who had another big game at QB for the Tigers, he had the ball. He kept the ball. He came up a little bit short. So Barry Odom's team finishes the year with a loss. Suddenly they trickled to 8-5. Doesn't look nice as shiny as 9-4 does it. As they did fall to Oklahoma State, who came in just with an even 6-6 mark. The Cowboys, though, win it over the Missouri Tigers 38-33. Locke did chalk up 373 passing yards, and he tossed 3 TD strikes. As far as the coaching ranks go, well, Oklahoma Sooners, that organization, and Lincoln Riley, they've agreed to a contract extension. Good move there. And it's going to – they had – people had him going everywhere, Riley, and why not? He's 35. I mean, he had his choice. But he's going to stay in Okie. I do believe he's led the Sooners now to consecutive Big 12 championships and college football playoff appearances. He's 24-4 overall, 16-2 in the Big 12, and he's just piloted to the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners. Not bad. Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. Manny Diaz has taken over for Mark Richt at Miami. Brad Kuntz played for those Hurricanes. He played at the U. Early thousands now, right? So we'll find out all about that move from him. Richt quit. 3 years and he's gone. Didn't do what he set out to do, that's for sure. The NFL, the playoffs are all set in the wild card playoffs coming up this Saturday. It's Indianapolis at Houston. The Colts, yep. Dallas will host Seattle that night. Then the following day on Sunday, it's now Los Angeles. They were the Los Angeles Chargers for a year. And then they moved to San Diego, spent all this, and now they're back in Los Angeles, playing at a soccer stadium. It seats about 25,000, 30,000. The Chargers will go to Baltimore. That team used to be in Cleveland. Philadelphia will hook up with the Bears in Chicago, and stuff continues the week after that and so forth. Coaches. Black Monday. Actually, 2 coaches first of all, there were 2 coaches let go during the season. McCarthy in Green Bay and poor Hugh Jackson in Cleveland. He gets no respect. And then on Sunday, Tampa Bay fired Dirk Cutter after the Bucs fell to 5-11. And the Jersey Jets dismissed Coach Todd Bowles after 4 seasons. They were blown out by New England in the finale. 8 jobs are open now, including these 4, because on Black Monday, the Bengals finally, what in the world took so long? I did Rip Sports Clip on this maybe this morning, I believe today. The Bengals, or Bungles, they've parted ways finally with Marvin Lewis, who endorsed Hugh Jackson. I love comedy. Lewis had 1 season left on a contract extension he signed last year somehow. He's now 60. He coached the Bengals for 16 seasons. Overall, he's above 500. Yeah, the most wins in franchise history. Stayed there the longest time. He's 0-7, though, in the playoffs. And against the Pittsburgh Steelers, his prime rival, because the Browns have been so rotten for so many years, 8-26. That's the mark he's chalked up against the Steelers over these many years. So finally, Marvin Lewis has shown the door. Oh, yeah, they say it was mutual. That means he'll get paid for next year, of course. Adam Gase has been fired after 3 seasons as the Dolphins head coach. Miami, I remember when they were so good. So good. I used to love the Dolphins back many years. The Dolphins team now, the Finns have missed the playoffs for 15 out of the last 17 years. Steve Wilkes has been let go by the Cardinals, and Van Joseph was fired as the head man of the Broncos. The Winter Classic, that was good. Watched a lot of that. I was at Notre Dame Stadium yesterday afternoon. The Blackhawks, of course, they lost, which is fun. They played in 4 of these games now. They're 0-4. Let somebody else play. The next Classic will be held at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas next season. The Dallas Stars will be the host, but no opponent has been named as of yet. The Blues will get the 2020 All-Star Game at Enterprise Center. And Ryan O'Reilly is headed to this year's All-Star Game in San Jose. That's going to be it from the Blue Note. Whew. They do return to the rink tomorrow night, and they face off against the Caps. That, of course, at Enterprise in St. Louis. They had 79 shot attempts against the Rangers the other night and lost 2-1. They were pummeling the goalie, and nothing could get by that guy, man. St. Louis is in dead last in the National Hockey League. The Illini, this is basketball, they go to Indiana tomorrow. Whew. They're 21st in the country. In fact, the Big Ten has a national best 7 teams in the latest AP Top 25 poll. We told you about Steve Alford getting fired. That's getting a little jazzy out there. There was a bunch that went on behind the scene, apparently. Kawhi Leonard scored a career-high 45 last night. That's not – but anyway, he and his Raptors, they will be in San Antonio tomorrow night, so he gets to, clash, maybe literally, with Pop, his former coach. Troy Tulowitzki has agreed to a deal with the Yankees. Didi's on the shelf. Who knows about Money Machado? Anyway, Tulo, he missed all of last season. Didn't play much before. The Blue Jays have to pay almost all of his $20 million contracts, so the Yankees are getting him for a song, but don't expect much. And Bryce Harper, nothing yet for Bryce Harper, not either for Machado. It's going to come pretty soon, right? Who's Machado's agent? I don't believe that's Boris, right? But Bryce Harper is definitely owned by Steve Boris. I'm sure he knows where Bryce is going. He's the guy, man. He is the, Mayweather. Speaking of money, Floyd Money Mayweather. He spent his New Year's, I don't know what you did, but he earned a quick paycheck worth $9 million. It took 139 seconds for him to maul this Japanese fighter in an exhibition. It was a kickboxing sensation. I don't know. I can't pronounce his name. $9 million for a 139-second bout. Didn't even have to pay his own airfare. All right. That is Scores and Stuff. Brought to you by Isaac Auto Body, just north of Carlisle. Right there on the tip. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. That was a solo version of that, but coming up, we're going to hook up with Kerry Kirchhoff and Brad Coons, and we'll have the sports flashback too. Come on back with us. It's Wednesday, the day after New Year's on Talkin' Sports.
Get low prices every day when you shop your hometown proud Carlisle IGA. Carlisle IGA has been family-owned since 1983, proud to serve this community. Select from quality choice meats from the outstanding meat department. Stock up at the deli and find low prices in every aisle. Carlisle IGA has the best fried chicken in town. Carlisle IGA appreciates your business and could make you a big winner each week with bankroll. And don't forget Carlisle IGA Catering. Call 594-3415.
Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Are the new vehicle prices keeping you and your dream car apart? You need to bring your present vehicle to Michelson's Auto Body in Bartelso. The superior workmanship of the pros at Michelson's will have your vehicle looking like it cost a fortune. Michelson's Auto Body can also replace that falling headliner while you wait. Most colors in stock, pickup, and delivery available. You deserve to see yourself in a shiny new vehicle again. Michelson's Auto Body in the heart of Bartelso. Call 765-2115. Dean says you clip it, we'll fix it at Michelson's Auto Body.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkin's because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here in the Cloud Meat Market Studio on it is a Wednesday, right? Man, I'm so confused. I'm glad things are about to get back to normal. Remember, it's Central and Highland and a girls basketball duel, Max 96.7 after Talking Sports at 7:15, 7:30 in that area. So we'll keep it right here, as you always should, to Max 96.7. Speaking of hoops, let's tackle the Tucker Electric guest line and head on out for McKendree women's basketball coach, Kerry Kirchhoff. Kerry, welcome back.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me again.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
I tell you what, you've had a real good 2018 portion of the 2018-19 schedule. You're having a very good season, and you nearly pulled off a victory at Division I SIUE on Sunday afternoon.
We did, and we are having a pretty good season. I feel like we're continuing to get better and make better shot selections each game. And the kids have been playing really hard, and we're just super excited here as we go back into conference play. But, yeah, the other night at SIUE, it was kind of a heartbreaker. We played 40 minutes of basketball, and it was good basketball. And just kind of at the end there, had a tough situation and ended up losing by 1. But I couldn't be more proud of our ladies in terms of execution and going in with a game plan, and they did an awesome job. And I think it just kind of gave them, even with the loss, gave them a lot of confidence in terms of knowing that if they can focus and execute like that we can pretty much beat anyone.
SIUE shaded you by 1, 64-63. They won it with a last-second free throw. What was there a little controversy at the tail end, Carrie, or what? The way you,
I'm always that type of coach that I say, let them play it in overtime. Both teams played so hard that when it comes down to that, I don't know. I didn't have the right angle or anything, but it was disappointing, and it's all right. It's the fact that we learned a lot. In just terms of end of game situations for us during that time.
I have to check out the website and get caught up because I didn't have a chance to do that. You were a 1-point loss. That was it. You were down big time, 63-47 with just outside of 5 minutes left. So what a credit it is to you and your club to come back.
Yeah, we actually, I think twice in that game, at some point we were down 12 and maybe 16.
Man.
2 different times in the first half.
Playing on the ledge.
Yeah, exactly. And they just, our ladies are resilient, and they don't give up, and at the same time, they're just kind of fearless, and they're just aggressive, and we stayed that way, and just kind of got refocused a little bit offensively, and made some nice plays, and that got us our confidence, and we kept going.
2 of your players for sure etched double figures in point totals, and that's always needed.
It is. Sydney Dekoff and Jordan Heberg right now are leading us in our scoring pretty much most nights, and we always have another one in there right around the 9-10 range, either between Jordan Morton or Megan Jensen or Shaylee Florine. And so we have a nice balance, I think. I feel like we're the type of team, there's nights where Heberg or Dekoff maybe aren't shooting the ball as well. Somebody else steps up. We have had multiple games where at the end of the game, someone else is leading us in scoring rather than Dekoff and Heberg. So it's a very nice balance, and the ladies just do a really good job of distributing the basketball and getting the right shot for our team.
Dekoff right at around 16, Heberg 11, Megan Jensen's in there at around 10. You mentioned Jordan Morton. She collected some boards for you too, but she's a real steady player, and she is your best rebounder, isn't she, at least stats-wise?
She is. She's our best rebounder, and she just kind of has a knack for the ball. And she's hard to stop when she goes to the hoop from like the elbow area, free throw line area. And Madison Hart, when she comes back, she's another one. She's a guard rebounder for us. That gives us a lot of second chance opportunities, and we've been really focusing on once we get the offensive board in terms of if you have a layup, take it. If not, and it's a tough situation, let's kick it out and make them play defense for another 30 seconds or something, just to make them really work on defense and try to tire them out.
I do see. So Madison has missed a couple of games with an injury, I presume.
Yeah, we're hoping to have her back here the next couple games, so that would be great.
All right. So that ends finally at the midway point, basically. That ends the exhibition season, doesn't it? You also tangled with the SIU Salukis in what was unofficially your season opener. But these games against the D1 schools, hey, they're intended to make you better, and especially now as you're right on the tip of really, really getting back into conference play.
Definitely, and that's why we scheduled SIU Edwardsville was we feel like we have experienced players, and it was a matter of coming back after Christmas break and getting the mentality of what we need for conference. As you know, the GLVC is not a tough conference. So it was great to see how we kind of, rebounded after having seven days off during Christmas break. We came back. We pretty much had 3 practices, and we were ready to play again. And now we start off with a bye. Everybody in the GLVC will be playing Thursday night. We will not be. We'll wait until Saturday to play up at Illinois Springfield here this weekend.
You follow the same schedule as the men do, and we just had Coach Foster on. I suppose that was Monday night. These days are all messed up now, Carrie, with these
exactly.
holidays.
You never know the day of the week between the holidays.
Not yet, but anyway, but 8-3 overall, and officially, because the exhibitions are just that, they're off the charts. You won 5 of your last 6 outings as you prime for the GLVC return, and even in the 3 losses on the year, I was studying hard there, Carrie. You've lost those 3 games by a total of 11 points. 2 of those games you fell by just a deuce each.
You do your homework well.
At times.
Yeah, we are
better than
we're
school.
Competitive. We are competitive, and we just talked about regrouping after those games and playing and competing, but being focused in terms of what we want with our game plan, and especially defensive personnel. And I feel like we lost a couple of those by 2 points, but then we come out back to conference with Umsel and Maryville, and I tell you what, there was just a reset of our mind, and I felt like we had that same reset with SIUE in terms of just an attack mentality and being really dialed in terms of what we want to do. So if we can come out and play like that every night in the GLVC, I think we're going to be very competitive in our conference.
Yeah, you are 2 up and none down in the GLVC, and yes, you definitely rattled the cages of Umsel and Maryville by 17 points, 19 points in those games. But the conference is it's tough in every sport, and this is no exception. Let's see, a year ago, under 500 by 2 games, so you are well on your way to bust that barrier.
We hope so. We continue to talk about just our ability to score, and at the same time, we can continue to focus defensively. That we can be sitting up there and talking about being in the top 5 of our conference, and it's just it's a mentality thing. But I feel like our ladies, we go into Lewis and Drury, and they have that history and tradition of always winning the conference, and McHenry women's basketball doesn't quite have that yet. And we just talked yesterday. I talked to the ladies about new year, new traditions. It all has to start somewhere, and why not this year? And so getting us to believe that we do have the components, and it is possible for us to contend and compete in the conference.
Illinois Springfield, what do you know about that group for 2018-19? It changes year to year, of course. You got to look at them last season.
It is. They're very guard-oriented, and they're averaging about 72 points a game right now. So,
well, you're putting up some pretty good numbers, too.
We are, too. I'm proud of what we're doing. That definitely, they're kind of beating us right now a little bit. I think they're about 4 points, scoring 4 points more than us. But it's going to be a big defensive night and an offensive night in terms of controlling tempo and giving ourselves more opportunities to score. And try to slow down their game, because they do. They have 4 people in double figures, and 2 of them are shooters. So it's not gonna be an easy night, and especially playing up there and playing on the road. So I know my ladies are excited to start conference again, and we're looking forward to it.
If you can stuff that in the left column, that would be huge, especially with 4 games in a row coming up at Statham Sports Center.
You're right, and right after that, we come back home and we get an opportunity at Maryville and Umsel again in our gym, and so we're just kind of taking it one game at a time. But I feel like we could have a pretty good start to our conference and being able to control our destiny. Carrie,
what about? I know basketball coaches are never really on break during Christmas and New Year's holidays and so forth. Did you have an opportunity to see some high school tournaments as your recruiting edge always keeps on going?
Yeah, we came back after Christmas, and I went to the Visitation Academy high school girls basketball tournament. It was great. Edwardsville was a local team over there. Webster's over there. So they always have some great competition, and was able to sit there for most of the day on the 26th. And then my assistant, Haley Sample, drove back from home, which was Dallas, Texas, and she drove all the way back and then went to the State Farm tournament in Bloomington, Illinois, which is a great they have small school and large school division up there. And she was able to be up there for a day. And then after that, she went to Peoria, Illinois, and went to the Illinois Community College. They have a great Christmas tournament there. So definitely hit the road for three different tournaments and saw some great talent.
Haley, man, she's a trooper. Give her a star.
She is. She works hard, and when I hired her, she came from the University of Nebraska and won a Big Ten championship there, and has been a huge impact in our program, and just helping us be successful.
All right, Carrie. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll definitely be back with you and get off to a great start in the second frame of this 2018-19 season. Okay, thanks for coming on.
No problem. That's the goal. Thanks so much.
All right. See you, Carrie.
Bye. Carrie
Kirchhoff of the McHenry Bearcats, the women's team. Thanks for her visit this evening. Yes. We'll go to the gridiron with Brad Coons in the second half. After this, though, this is always, Jeff Carling. Yeah, it's the Metal Screen Printing and Sign Sports Flashback after an important break. Don't touch that dial.
Moving forward requires taking that first step. And when it comes to your future, your first step should be Kaskaskia College. With more than 50 degrees and 100 certificate programs, Kaskaskia College can prepare you for a great career, your next promotion, or set you on your educational path. Life is too short to wait. Take your first step to success with Kaskaskia College. Learn more today. Call 545-3040 or kaskaskia.edu.
Insuring your home and auto with Pekin Insurance equals a sizable discount. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department may save you as much as 30% on homeowners premiums and up to 15% on auto premiums if you insure both with Pekin Insurance. Call Farmers State Bank Insurance Department at 495-2965 for details about multi-policy discounts and learn what beyond the expected coverage and savings are all about.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
They say you can't always get what you want. They never visited Becker Jewelers. If you've looked and looked for a special piece of jewelry but never been able to find exactly what you want, come see me. This is A.G. Becker, and together we'll design a custom piece of jewelry that is your own unique creation. Inspiration can come from your own imagination or a piece you've seen on Pinterest or Instagram. That, with a few changes, would be perfect for you. Bring your ideas, a simple sketch, or just tell me what you want. My jewelry designer and professional staff will work with you to finalize the design. We can even use the diamonds and gemstones from jewelry you no longer wear in your new piece. Once you have approved the design, Becker's will turn it into the ultimate luxury and fashion statement. A personal treasure designed by you. Come see us and let's get started today.
From the basics to the incredibly unique, shop with confidence at Becker Jewelers on Main Street in Breeze, on the Square in Highland, and at BeckerJewelers.com.
Scientists say the universe is random.
Why should your radio station be any different?
You've got Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Ripper in the Corral Meat Market Studio. This Cooney is coming your way in a matter of minutes. How about some flashback?
It's flashback.
Get ready to flash back with the Meadow Screen Printing and Signs Sports Flashback. Meadow Screen Printing and Signs on Broadway in Trenton. Call 224-7374.
Just before that, it's 6:30. That time drop is brought to you by Zirin Funeral Home in Carlisle. And this flashback is from March 24th of this year. It's Coach Jeff Carling with a few words on and for legendary Coach Raleigh Massimino.
I honestly thought that West Virginia Villanova game was a good one. That was physical, and tough, and West Virginia plays that tough pressing defense, and it was a great one. Villanova's good. They're real good.
They are. Yep, another one of those East schools I don't like, Jeff, but they're good. although I did appreciate the Villanova Wildcats back in 1985 when they kind of pulled that shocker on Georgetown. I was all for the kid, and Raleigh Maslamino. Who didn't like Raleigh?
Well, Raleigh lived right down here. We go over to Duffy's Tavern and sit there and talk to him and everything. And he just passed away. And, he coached down here for 10 years at Northwood College and did really well. He was a nice guy. He was a real personality.
That was an NAIA school, wasn't it?
Yeah. And they were good. He just sit there and talk and laugh, and he was fun. I remember a few years back, he asked me. We were out having a glass of wine, and he said, "Who do you think will be the first upset in the tournament, first round?" And I said, "Murray State's going to beat Vanderbilt." He said, "Oh, you're crazy." He says, "You're crazy." And he gets on his radio show an hour later, and they asked him the same question. He says, "I think Murray State's going to beat Vanderbilt."
So he stole that one from you, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I laughed.
What'd you say? What'd you say the next time you ran into him? Just put me on the air.
I said, "You're a crook. You take all my thunder. You couldn't even give me a little credit."
Exactly.
Planning a remodel or building a new home? Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton can get you started. Ideal Home Solutions has quartz, granite, solid surface, and laminate, with granite starting at just $49 per square foot. Ideal Home Solutions proudly sells Haas cabinets and specializes in custom showers, any size to fit your space. From tubs, whirlpools, vanity tops, windowsills, you're covered. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, 224-2500, or see their showroom at 102 West Broadway in Trenton. Get mouth-watering flavor at a jaw-dropping price at Your Breeze and Carlisle Hardee's. Charbroiled sliders are starting at just $1.25. Get them as a single or get them as a double. And get as many as you want. Plus, enjoy the entire Red Burrito menu. And tomorrow morning, try the new made-from-scratch honey butter biscuits. Get unhungry now at Your Breeze and Carlisle Hardee's.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let me, State Farm agent Steve Klosterman, help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with the Klosterman Agency handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too, because adding State Farm policies can earn you discounts and actually help you get ahead. Call or email me, State Farm agent Steve Klosterman, and get to a better state with State Farm.
Southern Illinois drivers know that K&J Chevrolet in Carlisle is a community-focused dealership that puts the customer first. That's why we've been in business for nearly 20 years, proudly serving multiple generations of Chevrolet drivers from all over. If you're searching for a brand new or like new Chevrolet model to upgrade your daily commutes and weekend adventures, come check us out just west of Carlisle on Old Route 50. K&J Chevrolet, your Clinton County Chevrolet and Silverado headquarters.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
We're up here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on this midweek edition of Talkin' Sports. A reminder for you, 12 Oaks Vineyard just south of Carlisle is closed. The tasting room is closed, okay? But if you want some of their, spectacular wine, you're welcome to call and stop by for that purchase. You can also find their wines at Hoffman's Supermarket, Carlisle IGA, Carlisle KC, and Popeye's Chop House. Isaac Rental Property in Carlisle reminds everybody to stay close. Talkin' Sports returns with Brad Coons after this. T.O.
Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
I'm Amy Cruzy, your local Edward Jones financial advisor in Aviston. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Call me, Amy Cruzy, at 228-7688 or stop by my office at 406 Steel Bridge Street in Aviston for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Hi, Amanda Hugo, Internet Marketing Gal here at Jansen Chevrolet. Everyone who works here strives to give you the best service and experience possible, and our track record speaks for itself. Jansen Chevrolet is #1 in new Chevrolet sales in Clinton, Marion, and Washington counties. In addition to the way we do business, this is home, and we support local charities and communities and are proud that our customers, through the years, have become our friends. Jansen Chevrolet on Route 161 in Germantown.
Remember what it was like to expect the unexpected?
I never realized it was so complex.
Guess what? The feeling's back.
You're on Max.
Hello again, everybody. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. Let's grasp the Tucker Electric guest line. Off we go for Central Illinois for one of Carlisle's favorite sons, football's Brad Coons. Brad, welcome back.
Hey, Rip, how's it going?
It's going just fine, and everyone knows, but and we always have new listeners, which is great. Brad's the coach of the Plano Reapers High School team, and you went to the playoffs again this year, didn't you, Brad? As we put a little capper on that.
Yeah, we did. We had another pretty decent season. We went 5-5 at the end of the day, and we played 5 teams that made the quarterfinals or semifinals, and we went 1-4 against those. So I mean, our schedule was tough, and but we were right there. So
yeah, that's good. So congrats again on that. We might dive into a little prep talk later on, but mainly we're going to stray from high school football and mostly for the college sites. Of course, well, we got to start with the Orange and Cotton Bowls, the CFP semis. Let's go to Alabama first. The Crimson Tide knocked off Oklahoma 45-34. That was down in Miami, a place you know a lot about as a former member of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and that's a game I've played in before. And,
yes.
It's a lot of fun that week. But it was the score's a lot closer than the game really was. I think. I think Alabama got out to such a good start that not that they got bored, but I mean there are games that you play and you're going to get up, and all of a sudden you're in a mode where it's like you're just kind of in autopilot or something. And
right.
Oklahoma tried to battle back, and they had a valiant effort. But I mean, you could see throughout the game how much pressure they were able to get on Oklahoma, and how Kyler Murray had so many having to scramble out of the pocket, and even when he left, there's nowhere to go. So Alabama's defense set them up with great field position all night, and their offense is rolling and capitalized on everything.
The Tide were up 28-0 in a blink after just 17 minutes. I described it as they finally went into a snooze, Brad, and it just nature sometimes. I mean, it was never uncomfortable, I don't believe.
Yeah, and I don't know how the personnel that was out there or not, but I don't know if Alabama maybe put in some subs, to get guys experience and protect their guys after a certain point, because, they have another game to play. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, Alabama showed how good of a team they are, and, Oklahoma, they fought back and they showed that they should be there. And, but at the same time, I mean, it's Alabama's, they've been the team of this decade, and, I think that they're something special again this year.
Tua was certainly sensational again. He appeared to be healthy, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he looked good, and I watched a really interesting, like one of those ESPN or ESPN E60s or whatever on to his ankle surgery, and he had a really interesting ankle surgery that was kind of like cutting edge.
I bet.
He had a high ankle sprain, and they basically wrapped around his the two bones that get pulled apart from your high ankle sprain, and so they couldn't get pulled apart any longer. So it was pretty interesting, but yeah, I think it worked out.
And in case, I mean, you want two there, but how about the quality relief pitcher in Jalen Hurts, son? And he, if it weren't for him in the SEC championship, who knows?
Yeah, and what a phenomenal story he is, and he's one of those guys that they just don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
You're there, whether you're starting or not, and you're prepared and ready to go. And I mean, I don't know what year he is. I don't think he's a senior.
No, he has another.
He's another year or two, maybe, but
one for sure. Yeah, he was 26-2 in his first, so he should have 1 year left.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a good ball player, and I don't know what the future holds for him, but it's a great story to see him be ready when the time came, and that's a story that coaches are going to be able to use for years as an example of what a good teammate is.
The Clemson Tigers took command early. They were up 23-3 at the half over Notre Dame, and they just flat whipped the Irish 30-3. Speaking of quarterbacks, and he's a freshman. I guess he's basically a sophomore now. Trevor Lawrence. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. he ran Kelly Bryant out of town.
Yeah, he and that just shows you how big of a stone cold business this is. College football is. To have a guy that takes you to the national championship game. I mean, Alabama's the same way. The guys that started last year's championship game are both going to be the backups. On the national championship game, right?
Yeah,
Would I be right in saying that?
Well, yeah, Kelly Bryant's already announced his transfer to Missouri, so he's not there anymore.
Well, he won't be there, but
yeah,
he could have been there.
That's right. That's right.
So I mean, that's the nature of the beast, and
I know.
I think it's wild that that's happening, but he's good, man. He's incredible as a quarterback, and I think that he's gonna it's gonna be a battle coming up with Alabama and Clemson, and but to the Notre Dame game, I mean, he just played phenomenal, and there's just no answer for that, and it's just it was one of those games where it's like, oh man, I wanted a good game. So.
I like the blowout because I just despise Notre Dame, so I loved it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. But you don't want to say that too much. But.
I can't hold back on some things, Brad.
Yeah.
But we do have our partners now, Alabama and Clemson. They'll meet for a fourth straight time, when you throw the semis in there. We'll get back to that. So do you think the CFP committee got it right, though, with Notre Dame? I still – and I don't go by these games yesterday or in between. As far as I know you look at it from a different angle. As far as I'm concerned, these other bowl games, more than ever now since we've come into the BCS and now this, they're for entertainment purposes only. I mean, it's tough to play in those. It's just like even in high school, well, especially college basketball, and that's why they did away with the third place game. In general, nobody cares. You want the championship. Yeah. The rest is fine, whatever. Let's play it and get out of here.
Yeah, it is kind of that way, but for some teams, I think that, I feel like for the elite programs, it's that way. Like maybe you could say that's why Georgia was awful.
Right, it depends. It depends on the team. Definitely, right.
Yeah, it depends on the team. Georgia felt pity because they didn't get in, and then they got their tails beat. Yes. I mean, it's UCF had a chip on their shoulder, and LSU had a bigger chip on their shoulder. To end that chip. So, I mean, that was an entertaining game. I mean, there's, it does devalue some of the stuff, but I don't think there is a perfect system, and I don't think that. I don't think there ever will be. I think that, it's always going to be like, oh, what if we did this?
Well, it'll never be perfect. And it isn't in any sport, even at the pro level. Whatever the sport, football, baseball, whatever. Sometimes you're in a weak division and you win, but they have to set, I think, absolute flat parameters and go by them. I mean, myself, I want to go to an 8-team event and have the Power 5 conference champions get in, and then pick 3 at-large teams.
Yeah, I think that's one good good solution. Like, for me, the only exception would be, like, what if Pittsburgh would have beat Clemson this year, and then you would have had a 7-6 team in the college football playoffs.
I know there's going to be.
They won the ACC, but I mean, there's still those type of things. But at the end of the day, I mean, this will never happen. But I don't see why they can't say, like, okay, the committee has the ability to say this year we're using 1 bowl game or 3 bowl games, or what would it be? 24? No, not 24 bowl games. 6.
4.
I don't know. Whatever it would be for 8.
Yeah.
They should be able to say, okay, this year we have 6. The top 2 are going to get a bye, and the other 4 are going to play playing games. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to switch it every year so that it fits what's going on. Because this year, I mean, at the end of the day, you could have just had Alabama and Clemson, or you could have said, okay,
but it changes every year.
Let's get Georgia and Ohio State in, It changes every year, so why not have a flexible system?
And I would have went with Georgia or Ohio State instead of Notre Dame. It's not just because I mean, my goodness, Georgia lost twice to top 15 teams. One of them was Bama in the conference championship. Notre Dame doesn't even play in that. If they would have been in the conference, the ACC full time, they would have lost to Clemson once, and if they were in the other division twice, they wouldn't. I mean,
right.
And Ohio State had one terrible loss, I know, to Purdue, but that was it. I mean, it's interesting, and college football probably loves it because they still have some controversy, which is, I think, overall good, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I look at it, and we'll probably talk someday about the districts things with high school.
Yes.
I mean, the whole playoff selection show isn't as interesting anymore because they switched to North and South instead of the possibility of having four quadrants. They used to have 4 quadrants, and if that happened, you never knew which teams are going to be in what quadrant, and there was a lot of controversy. It was really interesting, like who we're going to get. By the time you get to after the games on Friday night, you know what you're going to do on Saturday. It's kind of the same thing now with what we're talking about. So,
are you going to like that, by the way? Will you like the district in a couple of years?
Yeah, definitely.
You will.
We're
it'd be good for Plano.
We're moving into a conference where it's going to be winnable. I mean, but at the end of the day, we're playing against 6A and 5A schools that are in the top 10 in the state in those divisions, and we're a 4A school, and so I'm sure Carlisle feels the same way, being a 2A school playing 4A Columbia and Central and whatnot. But it's right now we're trying to get to 5 wins and make the playoffs. Whereas once we get to the districts, then we're battling to get in the top 4 of the district against schools our size. And we're basically all the teams that left our conference that decided to leave our conference and leave us in Sandwich. They're going to be the teams that are in our district. So, I mean, it's going to be, it was all for nothing.
Isn't that something? Yeah, you had quite a change up in leagues up there. Yeah, the short of it from me, and we had Coach Stewart on, Scott from Salem, who's their AD now, and he gave a long spiel about it, which was great. He really explained things and so forth. But I'm going to miss D conferences. I don't like the state telling us what to do and scheduling and so forth. But that's the quick over there. Carlisle High grad and national champion Brad Coons is with us tonight. He's fresh from the U still. Anything strike you about the other nearly 40 bowl games, at least those played yesterday? Texas did dispose of Georgia, LSU, and UC. 25 games down the board. I was hoping UCF would win just for that point. Keep that rolling. That streak alive.
Yeah, they battled, though. I mean, but it just kind of shows you the difference between, there really is a difference between a Power 5 school and a non-Power 5 school. What do they call them? I don't know. They got a name for them.
They do. I can't remember.
Group of 5 or something like that.
Yes.
So anyway, there is a difference, and it's not in the best player to the lowest player. It's in how many of these good players, top quality players, do you have? I mean, definitely the biggest advantage that LSU had over UCF was, their line, the line play was phenomenal for LSU, and UCF just struggled. I mean, that is where the difference is. I mean, UCF can have all the skilled players in the world, but there's just not as many linemen out there as there used to be, and only the best teams are getting the good guys. You know, so it's like it's just there. That's where the gap is now. There's no gap in skill players.
Why the quality shortage there in linemen, Brad?
Because nowadays
the style of play.
It's going to sound no. I mean, it's going to sound dumb, but I mean, kids are eating healthy. Kids are like training to try to, you know, they're trying to be a tight end, or they're trying to be a quarterback, or they're trying to be,
yes,
a linebacker. You know, nobody wants to be a lineman. That used to be where the guys that were big and slow, they'd go be linemen, and all of a sudden if they were good, great. You know, you got a good lineman. But, I mean, it's you very rarely find people that, you know, I want my kid to be an offensive lineman. You know, so I mean that gives people like me that want their kids to be offensive linemen a big advantage.
That's right.
You know, so
that's right. And you've got a pair of them that we're going to see on the tube someday. That's what I'd love to see. But, hey, Urban Meyer, I don't really think he's through. But anyway, for now, at least, he went out on top, didn't he?
You know, that was good for him to win a Rose Bowl and kind of cap off his career, if you want to say that. And, you know, his job is very stressful, and it's you know, there's nothing he can do right, and there's nothing he can do wrong. I mean, it's the way it is any head coaching job is, you know, somebody's going to say you did it right, somebody's going to say you did it wrong.
That's right.
You know, so I mean, it's you know, for this to be like I think it was the third time that he's like stopped because of health reasons. You know, and people doubt that he has health reasons, but I understand it. I mean, there's a lot of stress, and he can look perfectly healthy, and he can, you know, I mean, he's one of the reasons why Nike all their clothes now are like the slim cut, you know what I mean? like I can't buy Nike stuff anymore.
I don't have any Nike.
It doesn't fit us. It doesn't fit anymore. They have like the European like thin cut arms and stuff. I can't get my arms in anyway. You know, he looks healthy and he runs around. He's excited and has all the energy. But at the end of the day, you know, what is he like when he goes home? What's his home life like? And you know, so I don't blame him. And I think, you know, I think that there's probably some legitimacy to it, and there's probably some, you know, like just trying to get away from the controversy type thing. But you know, at the end of the day, next year he's going to be an assistant athletic director and a professor at Ohio State.
Professor. For a year at least. That's right.
And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And you know, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, he's done a lot of good things over the years. So
just 54 years old. So I'm betting on that coaching again in a couple three. USC, huh? Or back at Ohio State if this guy fails.
Yeah, maybe. You know,
the Missouri Tigers, Brad, they had a chance to get a little, you know, second season victory, but nope, they came up short. I haven't seen too much of Drew Lock. It sounds like he's a terrific young man. He's a very good quarterback, isn't he? It was in his hands at the end, and he came up a little bit shy of the goal line.
Yeah, you know, I think Mizzou always has one of those programs that's on the rise and always like just about there. And, you know, they're in the SEC, which, you know, makes life tough for them. But I think being battle tested the way they are, and, you know, the way they're getting a couple transfers here and there of some pretty high quality guys, I think in the upcoming years they'll have a great chance to compete.
But they did just what they did. Yeah, last year they won all of the games in November again, and then they fell flat at the start of the season. So I look for they got to do it all season long. I mean, that schedule's been good to them in the 11th month. So they're fighting Illini, though. Wow, that's an awful mix, Brad. An awful mess and mix.
You know, I think that eventually they're going to turn it around, though.
I have no confidence.
Like I know that there are people that, you know, they don't see the progress or whatever with Lovie Smith, but
no, that's me.
I mean, I think that he's genuinely getting the best out of the guys that they have, and I think that they're becoming a more recruitable program. I mean, Jeff Thomas from Miami just transferred there, the guy from East St. Louis. I think that's going to be huge for them. He's going to be the fastest player on their team. He was the best player on Miami. He was their best receiver. So I think like as time goes on, I think piece by piece, I think they're going to get better. And they've been starting a lot of freshmen and sophomore last year or two, and I think that they'll make it back. I've heard everybody around me doubts it too, so I don't blame anybody for that. But I think genuinely things are on the upswing there.
While you bring up Miami, Brad, we got a few more minutes left with Brad Coons here on college football in particular. Your old club, the Hurricanes, Mark Richt, he called it quits after, 3 seasons as coach?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise?
Yeah, it was a surprise for everybody. I mean, this weekend was kind of like really exciting and crazy time at the same time. I think that he's a coach that's been at it for a long time, and he has a lot of wins under his belt, and I don't think he has anything to prove. So, when things aren't going well and boosters or fans are complaining about different things, I think he doesn't really care. I think he's about the kids and trying to turn them into good husbands and fathers someday. And I think that he has the right things going on in the program. And I think that he was being asked to do some things that he didn't want to do, and so he just said, you know what, it's okay.
Goodbye.
Somebody else can do it.
And that somebody else is Manny Diaz. Are you familiar with him?
Yes.
I'm not sure he was. Yeah, how long was he around Miami before he took off for Temple for about 18 days?
He's been there the 3 years with Mark Richt. So he's been the defensive coordinator, introduced the turnover chain, and everything like that. He's that guy. So I've been nothing but impressed with him the last couple of days, from his press conferences and the things that he said. He's saying all the right things, and he's making all the right moves right now. So I'm really anticipating them hiring an offensive coordinator and seeing where they go with their offensive staff. He fired the entire offensive staff and
I saw
the
that.
entire defensive staff. So
yeah,
he's coming in gangbusters. And I mean, Miami, the way it is, that's where the movie Scarface is from. And I think they want that Tony Montana mentality that we're going to do whatever it takes to win. And I think the people down there are eating it up. So, I'm excited about him and the things he can possibly do there. And, it's just kind of like, okay, great. Now we got this to be excited about. And, I love Mark Richt. He won 10 games last year and was coach of the year. You know what I mean?
I thought that was going to be a great long-term hire. I think you did too. A couple, 2, 3.
Yeah, I really did. I mean, and he donated $1 million out of his own money.
Really?
To build an indoor facility. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, I think there was just some his son was on the coaching staff that got fired. I mean, maybe that was part of it, not wanting to fire his kid. I don't know if that was part of the deal or not, but that's kind of what I read into it.
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, that's I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
So,
but for those who may not be, you are still very close to the program, aren't you, Brad? I know you go down there every other year, something like that, for a game, reunion, and so forth.
Yeah, it's probably like every other year, but it's been fun these last couple of days because I have teammates that I played with and they've been doing this and whatnot. We have group texts, and every once in a while, all of a sudden somebody texts something funny or whatever. I mean, we've been having real genuine conversations these last couple of days about what we want to see happen, and it's just been good to kind of keep in touch with everybody and just know that we still care about everything, and we're still there wanting Miami to be good.
Brad, I guess we got to close the doors. It always goes by fast. I've got Bama 27-24. A lot of people on my Brett's Wildlife poll have the scores much, much higher, and I think it's about split between Bama and Clemson. Which way are you looking right now?
I think I'm going to go Bama 38, Clemson 34.
38-34. Woo! Shootout. Yeah, and that's what most are leaning to, I believe, on that poll. I want it to be a good, tight game, and the more points, the better this time around. That'd be great. And we might with those two QBs. Who knows?
Did you see? Did you see Oregon beat Michigan State 7-6?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was a Did they play a full game? I didn't see it. Did they play 4 quarters?
Yeah.
All right. Cooney, I guess we have to step aside, man. Appreciate your time as always, and say hello to the fam, including those young ones. Have a good off season as far as football goes, and we'll catch up with you on another track.
All right, you got it, Rip. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad. That's Brad Coons. Our appreciation to him, and also to Kerry Kirchhoff. Saturday morning, one of our guests, Nathan Reeder from the Central Cougars basketball team. Let's see, Chrissy showed up. Mel's on her way. Whew, this is a better than usual Monday night. Mel is a Melanie. We'll see you Saturday morning between 9 and 10 on Talkin' Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 Wcxo.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service.